It is back to school time, and that also can be a reminder to make sure the kids are keeping up on their well visits. Dr. Perch is a Nationwide Children's Hospital Toledo pediatrician. She joins us this afternoon to talk more about the importance of those appointments.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I think we think back to school, there are some requirements that kids even need to be able to set foot in the classroom, right?
Yeah, sometimes for sure, depending on the age of the child.
Right. So why is it so important to make sure that parents are keeping on top of these well checks?
Yeah, the purpose of well visits are really to make sure your child stays healthy. So we want to make sure they're growing appropriately. We want to make sure they're developing appropriately. And it's also a good time to make sure that they are staying up to date with their shots, especially if their well visits are happening during this time of year as we're heading back into school and into the germs again, really.
Yes, I know. In the summer, we maybe hopefully had a break, you know, with running around outside and all that. But yeah, we're going to be cooped up here again before we know it. So, you know, how often do kids need to go? Is it like kind of once a year or more regular?
It really depends on the age of the child. So the younger kids, really under 2, we're seeing them much more frequently. Anywhere from 1 to 2 to 6 months. And it's really because they are growing at such a rapid pace and they're developing so quickly. So we want to watch their height and their weight. We want to make sure they're hitting those milestones, like they're smiling on time and standing on time and all of those things. And it's a time where we give a lot of those initial vaccines. So it's good to see them frequently so that we're keeping them up to date on those things. The older the kids get, the less frequently we need to see them. So once we're in school, really once a year, as long as they're staying healthy, to monitor their growth and their development.
Yeah, you know, I remember my daughter went for her 2-year well check, and they were checking her eyes or something. They had this fancy little app on a phone, and it was enough to signal that something was wrong. And sure enough, we went to an ophthalmologist, and she has amblyopia, and we dealt with it at 2 years old. You know, so you know, talk a little bit about the benefits of maybe catching something if there's maybe a developmental delay or something like that.
Sure, yeah. So sometimes we are doing screenings as well. So yes, we're giving vaccines, but sometimes we're doing hearing and vision screenings, and we really want to make sure that they're developmentally appropriate, because we know that if we catch things early on and we can start intervening early on, then that can create a big success for the child as far as their treatment plans. So we want to make sure that we can refer early or start any sort of interventions quickly so that they can stay healthy and and succeed, really.
Yeah, and they could be resilient too. So just because there may be an issue now, you know, if you intervene early, then maybe we can kick that.
Yeah, we want to catch it early.
Yeah. So what can parents expect, and maybe what should they do to prepare ahead of this?
Yeah, so expect a lot of questions. This is our time to make sure the child is healthy physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. So we're asking everything. We want to know if they're eating and drinking okay, and peeing and pooping okay, sleeping okay. But we also want to know things like if school is going okay for our older kids, if there's any stressors in their life that could be impacting their health. All of that stuff is really important. So expect a lot of questions, expect some vaccines depending on the age of the child, and maybe some screenings like we talked about, so vision and hearing potentially. And parents should probably be expecting some questionnaires for their older kids too, because we really do a lot of screening for mental health for some of those older kids, so which is really important these days especially. To prepare, really, it's just thinking about the answers to those questions. I think that's important, and making sure if they have questions, they're writing them down so they're not forgetting. Maybe talking to other caregivers of that child and see if they have any questions or concerns, because all of that information could be really helpful for us. If there are any sorts of paperwork that we need to fill out, sports physicals or daycare forms or anything like that, having those in order can be really helpful for us, or even turning them in ahead of time so that we can start working on those things early can make for, you know, smooth sailing when it comes time for the appointments.
Saves everybody time. Saves y'all time, saves us time, all those things. So if you haven't thought about it, now's the time. Schedule that appointment. You know, if it's hey, it's been a little bit since my kid has been in, now is the time to think about that and get them scheduled. Amara, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it.